6 years in humanitarian aid taught me something that is maybe slightly uncomfortable because we are really good at treating symptoms, and that's the first purpose of the task. But we are less good at treating or addressing what is happening in people's minds. And how I see it, that part is also essential in how effective and sustainable aid or anything we do is. Obviously, emergency aid, it saves lives. There's no doubt about that. In terms of food, in terms of shelter, medical services, and so on. And the work matters. It's not an optional thing. But for me, it's not the full picture. Because what I learned and observed over the years is that communities living through war, through conflict, prolonged crisis, they develop survival patterns, which is a very natural thing. They develop scarcity thinking, distrust, and who blames them, right? They are completely irrational responses to what they actually lived through. So it makes sense. And I don't see it as a flaw to be fixed, because these are also very intelligent adaptations to real systemic threat. It shows their adaptability and flexibility. But the problem is what happens after the crisis is over or diminishes, and aid starts shifting to recovery-oriented programs, development, and so on. The psychological infrastructure and the patterns that were formed under survival, they often stay exactly as they were, even though the circumstances have changed. And if they are not being healed or they are not being addressed at the psychological part, and if they are not moved out of people's bodies, they get carried on to the next generation, to the children. And those children are maybe born after the war or after the crisis, but they still inherit the dysregulated nervous system, the nervous system in survival, without having ever lived through the thing that caused it. So we rebuild schools, rebuild water systems. We focus on all these beautiful things that are very important, obviously, for the quality of living of people. But we rarely rebuild what happens in people's minds. We are actually expecting communities to build a sustainable future on a ground that was never given the chance to heal. And that ripples. So for me, it's not about replacing humanitarian aid with therapy talk or these types of things, obviously not, or to bypass the real systemic issues that people are surviving. It's more about asking, what would it look like if we could bridge the two? I'm sitting with that question. That's why I made this video. I don't have a straightforward answer, but I will keep sharing as I'm learning here. And I'm happy to hear your thoughts on this as well.